around, the guest has arrived. He'll enter any time.
जल्दी से कनेक्ट हो गया क्या? हाँ. अरे पर लिंक तो भेज दे, उनको क्या पता है अभी. सुनने कॉन्स्टेंट था जो अपन के प्रॉपर्ली सेटल है पहिला येऊन इथं फ्री ठीक आहे सर. बघून घे दोघांवरती सह पहिले गेस्ट एंट्री करतात, मग वाईट घे, मग प्रॉपर्ली इकडलं दाखव, मग नंतर तिकडे फोकस कर, मग नंतर एक एक जातात, मग वाईट शॉट इथे ठेवून 15 सेकंड ठीक आहे. अभी नेट स्पीड सबने क्या कनेक्ट किया ना, दे रहा है ना,
पासवर्ड किसी को देना नहीं है ऐसे बोला.
शेयर मत दो ना. इधर थाम. so much. हाँ मी कंटिन्यूस डाटा मध्ये नाही येणार. ठीक आहे.
मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि संन्यसाध्यात्म चेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः. A very good afternoon to everyone present here. On behalf of Dr. D.Y. Patil Pratishthan's D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, Akurdi, we welcome you all to this special expert session. Our guests today include respected Mr. Avinash Dharmadhikari Sir, distinguished chief guest and speaker for the day. Respected Advocate Ameya Deshpande Sir, guest of honor for today. Honorable Dr. Mrs. P. Malti Ma'am, Principal, D.Y. Patil College of Engineering. Dr. S.S. Sarnopat Sir, Vice Principal, D.Y. Patil College of Engineering. Principals of all colleges in D.Y. Patil Educational Complex, Akurdi, Deans, HODs, and my dear friends. I, Divya, along with my co-host, Pat, will be your anchors for this event.
There is an Indian heart beating in all of us, reminding us of our shared identity and values. Some individuals take this passion further, dedicating their lives to the service of the nation, just like our esteemed guest today. Let us extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to Mr. Avinash Dharmadhikari Sir, a former IAS officer of the Maharashtra cadre who has dedicated his life to the betterment of the society. After resigning from the prestigious Indian Administrative Service, Sir has become a beacon of hope for countless students, guiding them to contribute positively to the nation.
We also welcome our guest of honor, Advocate Ameya Deshpande Sir, an accomplished educator, administrator, and change maker. Sir has an illustrious career serving as a project officer at Rambau Mali Prabodhini and was also board member at MIT ADT University. With expertise in project management, rural development, and civil services training, he has conducted transformative programs with organizations like ISRO, NCW, and Niti Aayog. His efforts in capacity building programs for women representatives and grassroots leaders, as well as his initiatives for CSR policy reform, have had a profound impact across sectors. Beyond his administrative progress, Sir is also an academician contributing to Indian philosophy, sustainability, and governance education.
संस्कृत में कहते हैं असतो मां सद्गमय तमसो मां ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतम गमय, meaning lead us from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, and from mortality to immortality. To begin our program, may I kindly request our esteemed guests to join us a deep pressure lid symbolizing wisdom and knowledge. Thank you everyone for this graceful inauguration. Moving ahead, I humbly invite our principal, Dr. Mrs. P. Malki Madam, to deliver the welcome note.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes. First of all, I heartily welcome Mr. Avinash Dharmadhikari, IAS, for visiting our campus to give an address to the students. That time also he delivered a very good keynote speech to our students. Sir, I would heartily welcome to you for campus. And also I would like to welcome Mr. Avinash Deshpande, advocate, to our campus as a guest of honor for this seminar. Now before, you all must be wondering why Sir has accepted to deliver a speech to the students. Because he is working, I came to know that he is working very heavily for the welfare of the students. So only for the students, by the students, he has accepted our offer and he has come to our campus to deliver the speech to our students. Let us all give a big round of applause to Sir. Sir knows about our institute very well. Still, it is my responsibility to introduce the campus to the respected Sir. Sir, in our campus, this Dr. D.Y. Patil Educational Complex, Akurudi. In our campus, we have 14 institutes starting from KG to PhD. We have engineering colleges, pharmacy college, architecture, applied arts and crafts, agriculture and business management, and so on and so forth. We have a school which is affiliated to CBSE. And around in our campus, we have around 1,000 faculty members working, and more than 15,000 students are studying in this particular campus. It's a very well disciplined campus. You must have noticed when you have reached this campus. Now the students are very much eager to listen to you because we were actually trying for sir for last 3 to 4 years, and this time we have got an acceptance from sir that he is ready to come and give a speech to our students. So I'm very much thankful to you, sir, for this month. Coming to D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, Akurudi, this college was established in the year 1984. In D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, around 200 faculty, 4,000 students are studying. Our institute is accredited by NBA, NAC, and recently we have got autonomous also. And so now we can be able to frame our syllabus as per the requirements of our industry. We have got many accolades and recognitions also from external world. That's all. I just wanted to introduce about my institute to you, sir. And let me not take much time of yours. Once again, I welcome both the stalwarts for the seminar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. It's now time to honor our chief guest, Mr. Avinash Dharmadhikari, sir. I request our principal, ma'am, Dr. Mrs. P. Malki, ma'am, to felicitate our distinguished guest with a token of love.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I now request our Vice Principal, Dr. S.S. Sarnobat, sir, to felicitate our guest of honor, Mr. Ameya Deshpande, sir. I now request the team of Ignited Youth Forum present with us, Mr. Tanishk Sherke, Mr. Shrikirti Thakre, and Sonam sir to come forward, and I request our Vice Principal sir to felicitate them.
I now request Vice Principal Sir to felicitate our alumni from Mechanical Department, Mr. Abhiram Kulkarni.
Thank you all. Now let us take a moment to know more about our esteemed speaker.
Mr. Avinash Dharmadhikari sir is not just a former IS officer. He is also a visionary, author, and mentor who has dedicated his life to inspiring the youth of India. He is the founder of the Chanakya Mandal Parivar, an organization dedicated to training and mentoring students for civil services and leadership roles. Sir's exemplary journey includes holding prestigious administrative positions, but his true calling lies in his passion for nurturing the next generation of leaders. His sessions are known for their depth, motivational impact, and practical insights on value-based education and purpose to live in. He is also a renowned speaker at national as well as international platforms, consistently emphasizing the role of value, ethics, and service to the nation.
Without further delay, let us now Dharmadhikari sir to deliver his keynote address, which will be followed by an interactive session. Please join me in giving a thunderous round of applause for sir.
Honorable Principal Dr. Malti Madam, respected dais, all the honorable principals of various institutes within this divine campus, this beautiful, extraordinary campus, and of course all of my dear friends. Even before we came here, Madam was telling even students that all of us are here for you. She already knows even me enough to say that even Avinash Dharmadhikari sir is here for you. So we are so much on the same page that all of us are here for you. All of us are here with you, with absolutely all infinite, eternal, and absolutely unconditional best wishes. As these young anchors also were saying, that in Sanskrit the prayer is Asato Ma Satgamaya. Similarly, the way I choose to start for now so many years are two phrases which I call as mantras. They are not just words, but they are mantras. And this first beautiful mantra is Namaste. Because that single word means that divine energy in me salutes the divine energy in all of you. And if you still go deeper, then that single word also means that there is only one divine energy everywhere, and all of us also are material manifestations of that divine energy. And it works through every one of us in a different way. Like in Sachin Tendulkar, it would work through batting. And in Amitabh Bachchan, it would work through acting. And in Lata Mangeshkar, Asha Bhosle's, that divine energy would work through music and singing. And similarly, every one of us, that divine energy manifests. That divine energy works through us in everyone's own way. And then it means that it is for us to find out what is it through which that divine in me works. It can also therefore work through engineering and medical and pharmacy and journalism and like not even sky's the limit. This is our hereditary Bharatiya style of stuffing a lot of content in a single phrase. The style itself is called Sutra Shaili. The Sutra Shaili. There is a single sutra, but the sutra speaks volumes. Namaste is one such sutra. And having understood its meaning, it's now many, many years since I choose to start my talk, my interaction, my communication by just saying this single word. What a beautiful word, Namaste. It was actually during Corona period that even the world almost unwillingly accepted the same style. Not not because they understood the meaning, but because shake hands would pass on corona. Then for a while, even all of us must have observed that even on international forums, if the global leaders would meet each other, entering the dais from opposite ends like in Hindi song, but as they would head towards each other, instead of extending their hands for shake hand, they would do this for a while, until probably they realized that this is Bharatiya, and that we need to have our own cultural, civilizational way of greeting each other. Therefore, afterwards they started elbowing each other. Namaste, my dear friends. Second mantra is Sarvetra Sukhinas Santu. Be it in Marathi, Sarvanna, Sarvakar, Sarva Shubhecha. Origin being in Bharatiya thought of wishing the bliss, wishing happiness for the whole world, Vishwa Kalyan, and then getting down to do however mundane the things may be, things in our life. Whatever we do, the inherent prayer is Sarvetra Sukhinas Santu. Be it in English or like Buddha and Bhagavan Mahavir taught us in Pali, that is Prakrut, it is Bhavatu Sabba Mangalam. And be it Marathi, or I am very happy to have close association with almost all languages, especially in India. And I do get a lot of opportunity to travel all over India. Since it is our India, since there is one India, and we are all one in our rich, glorious diversity, but we are one. It is that sense of oneness that makes me think that every Indian language is also my language. Maybe this time I am born as a Marathi person, so it is my mother tongue. But all Bharatiya languages are also my mother tongues. It is Bharat Mata. It is one nation called Bharat. And the reason I am saying this is because I know in all Bharatiya languages there is a similar prayer. Similar prayer. Be it Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, be it Gujarati, Bengali, Kashmiri, Nepali, Pashto even, and so on and so forth. That the first prayer at the root of everything we do in life is to be the prayer for happiness and bliss for the whole world. And then we do things in our own life. And I may be having engineering education, and I may want to be BE, BTech, so and so. And then probably some job. Or maybe I set up my business, or maybe I dedicate myself to research and development, and whatever the global cooperation and whatnot. The root prayer is our prayer, accompanied with our actions for the happiness and bliss of the whole world. That is also what Swami Vivekananda says in modern times, and his single thought is so critical for every one of us to even develop ourselves, to develop our even formal career, mind you. And whatever we want to do in life, the educational career first, followed by professional career. What a beautiful way in which Vivekananda says this. So first of all, he has given the definition of education. What is the definition of education? One line. How deep is it? Swamiji's line is that education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. Pay careful attention to every single word and every single alphabet of what he said. That education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. So our concept of what is human being, our concept is that we are expressions of that divine, And therefore, by definition and potential, everyone is perfection. It is Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Essentially, that actually we are all Purna, perfect. But just being perfect is not the end all and be all. It is manifestation of perfection. And Swamiji tells it to the rest of the world in English what is always there in Sanskrit, Prakrit and all Bharatiya languages, that the innate concept of our being human is about perfection, and we are expressions of that perfection. Education means manifestation of perfection already in man. So concept is perfection is there. Since I may be talking to majority engineering students, I feel safe to use the equation f of x tends to be to infinity. F of x tends to x being our life, x being ourselves, x being whoever we are, and tends to infinity is ananta. That everyone's journey is towards that ananta, which is perfection. It is in you, but you need to realize that. And the process of realizing that perfection is education. That education is manifestation of perfection already in man. And then Swamiji tells us about how to go about it in our practical life also, how to go about it. He says, develop passion for at least one thing in life, in your personality. The Marathi, Hindi, Bengali, Sanskrit word is dhyas. Dhyas, there is no exact substitute really. Dhyas, that day in and day out. And Jali, Sthali, Kashthi, Pashani, Ani Marathi, Uthata, Basata, Karya, Karata. That I am so dedicated to that at least one area of my life. Dhyas. And Swamiji said, develop such dhyas, the commitment, the passion, the dedication to at least one field. And then he said, sow yourself like a seed. And then everything you do in your life, what you think, what you act, what you sleep, what you eat, what you drink, let it be an irrigation for that seed. And then Swamiji promises that extraordinary capabilities will grow out of you. As his student, I do want to politely say that yes, I have understood the meaning of this. That developing our personality, developing our career, living our life, basically means being dedicated to at least one thing. And then indeed, sowing oneself like a seed and then irrigating that seed with our hard work, our intelligence, our dedication. And even I have come to believe, and therefore I will promise you, I will guarantee you that extraordinary capabilities will grow out of you. I have heard and then shared a great joke various times. Depending on where I am talking, I choose to decide where to share it. This is the right platform to do so. This was the centenary year of invention of aeroplane. So technically it happens to be 2002. Someone decided to celebrate the centenary of invention of aeroplane by flying a balloon from Mumbai to Pune. So now the very idea of flying a balloon to celebrate invention of aeroplane, this has to be Marathi mind, and predominantly this has to be Puneri mind. That you are celebrating centenary of aeroplane. What do? Fly a balloon from Mumbai to Pune. That too the month of June, July, because the first time Wright brothers flew it was sometime June, July, because it's summer there. In Europe it is summer. By the way, even as a passing reference, let me tell you that a Marathi scientist based in Mumbai, Sakharam Bapuji Talpade, had developed and flown an aeroplane in 1897. That was based on the technology mentioned in our ancient books. And Lokmanya Tilak wrote an editorial on it. Unfortunately, in a couple of days from the date on which this Sakharam Bapuji Talpade flew an aeroplane, he was found mysteriously dead. His death is not explained till today. But my point is, indeed, in every objective and even dispassionate sense of the term, Indian civilization has great, original, profound knowledge of science and technology since ancient times. There is no sense of false pride in this. It is based on careful study of our own heritage. With you is of someone who wants to fly a balloon from Mumbai to Pune to celebrate centenary of aeroplanes. So with a lot of fanfare, his balloon takes off from Mumbai, says the governor's bungalow there. It is on the sea coast. Flashes, etc. The balloon takes off and is coming towards Pune. I am expecting you people to remember that this is monsoon time. So the clouds gather and heavy rains start, and in the whole process, all those instruments and machinery on the balloon breaks down, and the person in the balloon loses track, loses direction, loses any sense of where I am. So not knowing what to do in the skies, this man adjusts the hot air in the balloon, descends to about 40 feet from soil to see a young farmer working in the field. So hovering at a distance of 40 feet in sky, he shouts and asks that farmer, "Hey man, where am I?" The farmer looks up and says, "You are hovering at a distance of 40 feet from soil." Where am I? Those who clapped have a Puneri gene code. They are waiting to decide whether we should clap or not. Let's carefully, cautiously watch which way this is going, and then we will decide whether to clap or not. This guy in the sky, he says, "Where am I?" And the young guy working in the soil says, "You are hovering at a distance of 40 feet from soil." The guy in the balloon says, "Man, you seem to belong to IT sector." The man in the field is surprised, and he expresses a shock. "Oh my God, how did you know?" He was from IT sector, and there was IT bust, and all Hinjawdi and Kharadi and Chandarnagar and Magarpatta had closed down. So he had gone back to field. So where am I? You are hovering at a distance of 40 feet from soil. The balloon guy says, "Oh my God, you seem to be from IT sector." And in a shock, that young man on the soil says, "How do you know?" The man in the balloon says, "Because the information you gave is technically correct but practically useless." Then this man on the soil, he is unfazed because he is Puneri. So without blinking an eye, he says, "That just proves that you belong to management sector." Now it is the turn of the person in the balloon to be surprised. "Oh my God, how do you know you did belong to management sector?" So from the balloon he says, "Oh my God, how do you know I belong to management sector?" Now the man on the soil says, "Because you don't know where you are, but you expect me to guide you where to go." And in a nutshell, everyone who is clapping has understood the story of education and career. Sort of maybe all books which are apni jagah pe, they are there, they are important, but developing insight into what we are doing and accordingly heading towards progress, our personal progress and our contribution to India's progress also. Many years ago, I had an opportunity to sort of work on an India committee, and that committee used to occasionally meet with Prime Minister. Then this was Atal Bihari Vajpayee then. In such a meeting in Delhi, this is South Block, the Prime Minister's office and the oval-shaped conference room. Engineers of Konkan Railway, as it is, Konkan Railway has done India proud, mind you. Konkan Railway is India's first railway project, which is 100% Indian technology, 100% Indian capital, 100% Indian management, and this is the only project in the history of independent India to be completed before time. Not only on time, but before time. And that too, even the worst critics of Konkan Railway have not dared to railway of any kind of corruption. So what I just said in last 3 sentences is actually a proof of our abilities, that as Indians are we capable of it, implementing world-class projects, world-class technology. In Konkan Railway track, mind you, is among the world's best of the tracks. Track I am talking. The geographical difficulties that come every once in a while notwithstanding. The great architect of Konkan Railway also is this great son of Bharat Mata and also disciple of Vivekananda. That is, I am talking of E. Sridharan, an engineer by education, and rose to be such outstanding engineer who proved India's capabilities. So Konkan Railway engineers had developed a software then named as anti-skid, anti-collision software. Today it is called Kavach, and it's 20 years down the line that it's just now that Kavach is coming up. But it had been developed by 2001. I had the occasion of attending this meeting in Delhi. So the Konkan Railway engineers made this presentation. And if this anti-skid, anti-collision software is installed on all railways, then it would stop all kinds of accidents throughout India. And India would be world's first country to do so. World's first country to have indigenously developed such a software and install it on railway. So when Konkan Railway engineers finished their presentation, I thought that cabinet meeting hall would erupt with applause and that everyone would be clapping. They would give a standing ovation to Konkan Railway engineers, and maybe everyone would rush to shake hands with these Konkan Railway engineers who did India proud. But against my expectations, there was in fact complete sannata in the room. Total silence. Konkan Railway engineers finished this presentation, and what a software and what a stroke of genius. But there was utter silence in the room, and from that silence came a statement from a very senior cabinet minister, and first reaction of this cabinet minister was, I don't think it's possible, because if it were possible, America would have already done it. That, my dear friends, is our problem. Our self-image is our problem. We think all original things, all creative things, all new discoveries or inventions have to come from West in general and America in particular. We lack in that self-belief that we are capable of it. So much so that even after Indian engineers actually do India proud by developing this unique software in the world, here is a cabinet minister who thinks, I don't think it is possible, because if it were possible, America would have already done it. That self-belief is our problem. At a point of time, during my travels, I happened to be in USA. When I came to know that on this most popular public interest program on US TV, the channel is CBS, and the program is called 60 Minutes. And it is watched by millions and millions of people. I happened to be in Chicago that day, and I came to know that one of the architects of IT revolution in India, none other than Mr. Narayan Murthy the Great. He was to appear on CBS, 60 Minutes program. So out of my respect for Narayan Murthy ji, I made it a point to sit in front of TV watching that program. So when the program time starts, there is this jingle, there is this music, there is this American blonde on the screen, flashing her Colgate smile, and then welcoming everyone, welcome to world's most famous public interest program, 60 Minutes. Then she said, USA has everything best in the world. And as she is saying this, the scene edits, and on the screen there is some US, you can say either road, or you can say NASA, or you can say the Brooklyn Bridge, or you can say the San Francisco Bridge in, I'm forgetting the name of that red bridge, thank you, Golden Gate, thank you, Golden Gate, and everything. So like engineering marvels of United States of America. So she says US has to have best of everything. After a dramatic pause, she says US gets best of automobiles from Japan. And then the scene edits and goes to say Tokyo and high-rise buildings and 16-lane main roads right in the midst of the city, but all cars whizzing past each other, all one after another, all Toyotas and Mitsubi's and Mitsubishi's and what have you. Another dramatic pause, and she says USA gets best of electronics from South Korea. Now the scene edits to show, and it could be LG, it could be Samsung and whatnot. Then after a pause, she says, what is it that USA gets from India? And as she is saying this, it's a scene, top camera on Churchgate or CST, around say 9:30 in the morning. And it is all vacant platforms, but within a couple of seconds, locals rush to the stop and thousands of people get onto the platform, so much so that platforms become invisible. It's only people everywhere. And then they are walking in all different directions. And then she says, after the question, what is it that USA gets from India, is seen. And then in a dramatic way she says, USA gets best of the brains from India. And then she says, here is one such sitting with us. Welcome, Mr. Narayan Murthy. Then the camera pans to Narayan Murthy ji with his innocent, childlike, boyish face. He does this, namaste. Then the interview begins. The anchor said that Mr. Narayan Murthy, while selected for IITs are so world famous, but couldn't afford so much about India's engineering education. But look here, the very architect of India's IT revolution chooses to send his own son to Cornell. So is she ridiculing? Is there a hint of irony? Is she being ironical, asking Mr. Narayan Murthy this one, and trying to then at least show that after all, whatever the world, including India, may say, USA is greatest, and we will continue to be, and you send best of your brains to us. So she turns toward Narayan Murthy saying, we have heard so much of IITs. You also did your masters from IIT. How come you sent your son to Cornell? Mr. Narayan Murthy is unfazed. He smiles and says, my son gave entrance exam for IIT, but he failed, so he joined Cornell. If we have that self-belief that we are and we can be world's best, then the best in us will come up. But if we let ourselves suffer from inferiority complex, and if we have that colonized mind that even after 75 years of independence and now 75 years of our republic, we still think that no, original ideas, original discoveries, original researches all have to come from the West. Then our capabilities will remain restricted. Then we will, instead of going in for original creative genius, including original research and development, we will always look for the West to come up with solution and then just lap it up and take pride in being backroom boys of the developed world. But if we develop this self-belief and then also set ourselves to this task, that whichever walk of life we choose, we will aim at being excellent and creative. And then what walk of life will we choose? It is that Swamiji says one creative genius inside you, at least one. So look into yourselves. What are you good at? What is it that draws your mind, your heart, your passion? Doing what? You never feel tired. In fact, you feel energetic. That is your field. And for what I just told you, our Bharatiya name for that concept is knowledge of the self. Swachi Odak. Look into yourselves and find out the creative genius in you. Knowing that this is the way in which divinity manifests itself in me, and then setting a standard nothing short of excellence and creativity in our own chosen walk of life. That is the manifesto for personality development, career development, and a happy life. In whatever little educational work I am doing, I call it Vicharanchi Trisutri, three principles, ideas, three principles. Knowledge of the self, choice of career based on knowledge of the self, and achieving excellence and creativity in one's own at least one chosen walk of life. This is the three principles behind our development of life, career, and everything. And then if you are serious about doing this, I dare offer three common actions in everyone's life. Whatever you are, whatever degree you seek to take, whatever career you want to do, see to it that these three things are there in your life and you will achieve excellence and creativity in your own chosen walk of life. For these three, my original say Marathi words are Vicharanchi Trisutri. If knowledge of the self, choice of career based on knowledge of the self, and achieving excellence and creativity is Acharanchi Trisutri, three principles of thinking, thought. Then the three I am about to tell you are, first three are Vicharanchi Trisutri. I slightly mixed up in Marathi. Now what I am about to tell you are three Acharanchi Trisutri, three action points common to everyone. My dear friends, the first one and the most important one is yoga. That in our personal life, minimum thing to do is average, regular 30 minutes of yoga. It could be Surya Namaskar, followed by selected asanas, and then first three types of pranayama everyone can and must do, and finally the package should end with meditation. A minimum 25 to 30 minutes of package. And if you are blessed enough to be then inspired to learn, fortunately, there are global yoga movements spearheaded by Indian Greeks like say Sri Ravi Shankar and Sadhguru and Ramdev Baba and Dadaji, that is Pandurang Shastri Athore, who may not be physically with us, but the Swadhyaya Parivar movement, then there is Gayatri Parivar movement, and the whole world is waking up to the potential of yoga. So in 2014, within 2.5 months, the entire world agreed to observe 21st of June as International Yoga Day. This was the decision by United Nations. United Nations takes average 3 years to take any decision. I was personally the witness of the whole process over there at headquarters, UN headquarters in New York, that in September 2014, India presented this concept, and by December, so within 2.5 months, okay, the whole world had agreed that June 21 will be International Yoga Divas, and the whole world also celebrated it from 21st of June 2015. Mind you, yoga itself means connecting. The literal meaning of the term yoga is connecting. It connects you to yourself. It connects you to the whole society. It connects you to the whole world, to the whole nature. That is yoga. And all countries in the world, whatever may be the predominant religion in their respective countries, they happily observe Yoga Divas. And I am expecting you people to have noticed that about a month ago, similarly the whole world agreed to observing December 21 as International Meditation Day. Now, there is a little misconception that yoga means only asanas. That's a misconception. That's a misconception. Anyone who thinks yoga means asanas doesn't know basic about yoga. Yoga includes Surya Namaskar, Asana, Pranayam and meditation. That package is called yoga. So it means meditation is there, but still the world agrees to observing December 21 as International Meditation Day. The day that was announced, I gave a small post on Facebook and X. I said, start doing yoga on June 21 and achieve meditation by December 21. But yoga is our heritage. There is no point in Mr. Avinash Dharmadhikari just giving a pedantic lecture on yoga. Taste of pudding is in its eating. So action point number 1, without a shade of doubt, with absolute conviction, the Bharatiya word in fact is Shraddha, that everyone should do regular yoga in one's own life, whatever your career, whatever your personality, whatever degree, whichever path you want to follow. You want to achieve excellence and creativity in that path. Action point number 1 is yoga. Action point number 2 is Swadhyaya. The English word is self-study skills. That means learning how to learn. That means come any subject and I should know and I should have the methodology of quickly going to deep into that subject. That is self-study. Self-study means our ability to understand any subject and establish our grip over understanding that subject as quickly as possible, and not wait for only formal classes and formal textbooks or some coaching place, etc., etc. As quickly as I get to know a new subject, how quickly I go deep into it. Swadhyaya has always been an integral part of Bharatiya education for thousands of years, even after the Shishya, the disciple, the student would complete education in Gurukul. Our ancient gurus, while sending that student back into normal practical life, they would tell the student, the prayer was Swadhyayam ma pramadaha. This is from Upanishads. Don't be under the impression that your education is complete. It's only formal, say 12 years at my Gurukul. But now that you go back, Swadhyayam ma pramadaha. Don't forget, don't mistake, and don't, ensure that you do Swadhyaya regularly. So Swadhyaya has always been important, but today it has assumed unprecedented importance. Things are changing around us at such a fast pace that if you think that you take a degree and the knowledge you gather across that degree will help you for the rest of your life, you are living in a fool's paradise. Your degree knowledge will be redundant, irrelevant within 6 months. Unless you have picked up how do I keep myself updated. Currently, the best example happens to be overall computer science or IT, and now its best expression that is assuming form in AI. Things are changing at such a fast pace that you will have to have the skills of gathering the knowledge on your own to ensure that you are updated. AI has caught up pace, and it's not a thing in future. AI has already begun to impact human life. AI has security implications for India. AI could be a threat to our national security, it could be a threat to our civilization, it could be a threat to our heritage if we don't wake up on time. If there is one lesson from India's history, especially last 1000 years of repeated invasions and our fight and our struggle for survival, one relevant lesson about which I am talking is those were the times when we could not keep pace with the new discoveries and inventions in the world. That is why every enemy who came in was always better equipped, better funded and financed, and had better technique and better science and technology, and all our valor and all our civilizational wisdom turned into nothing in front of those developments of science and technology. So if there is one lesson to be learned, it is about ensuring that India remains ahead of the curve. That India doesn't just follow new discoveries and inventions in science and technology, but India does new work. That India does original work. India stays ahead in the curve. You youngsters also, especially, to have noticed that as I talk to you today, there is a news that China has stolen a march over America in development of AI. And now America begins to call it their Sputnik movement. What it means is after the Second World War, there was Cold War between say USA versus USSR, or capitalism versus communism, or NATO versus Warsaw Pact countries, or liberal democracies versus totalitarian, that is single party rules. But it was a global struggle after Second World War. And in 1957, America suddenly woke up with a jerk when USSR became the first country to send a satellite into space. The name of that satellite was Sputnik. USSR also became the first country to send a man in the space. That was Yuri Gagarin. USSR also became the first country in the world to send a woman in the space, and she was Valentina Tereshkova. That was a shock for United States of America. That is USSR stealing a march over USA. And then, legendarily, this was President John F. Kennedy who presented a vision of putting a man on the moon within 10 years and how to surpass USSR achievements in science and technology. And for 2 days, knowledgeable people in the world are now calling it a new race between say USA and China, where as of today China has stolen a march over USA, and all USA's Elon Musks and their Teslas and their Sam Altmans and their OpenAI and whatnot, they have paled into insignificance. China took a chip from NVIDIA but developed a faster, a better and a way cheaper application and stole a march over USA. Where is India? Where should India be? And if we are also to stay ahead in the on the curve, then our original brains also have to work and have this self-confidence and then depth of knowledge and independence and originality and the creative genius. That brings me to that second action point I am saying about Swadhyay, self-study and learning the skills. Third action point is work culture. The Marathi, Hindi, Sanskrit word will be Karya Sanskruti. That is a proper discipline, professionalism. Unfortunately, it gives me no pleasure. In fact, it gives me deep pain to say that we as a nation today cannot be said to be up to the mark in terms of a professional work culture. It is punctuality, it is keeping the word, it is teamwork, planning, leadership and whatnot. So more we internalize the principles of work culture, the excellence and creativity in us will rise to great heights. And then after these three principles of thought, Vicharanchi Trisutri, and three principles of action, Acharachi Trisutri, both are connected in one single resolve, our mind, what do I want to be? Do I just want a degree and then a nokri and then as the standard rhythm would say a chokri and whatnot? We dream that, okay, my best wishes for that. But if we have the dreams of achieving excellence and creativity in our own chosen walk of life, if we set a standard for ourselves that I am going to measure myself by nothing short of excellence and creativity, and if we set our minds, our characters on serving Bharat Mata by achieving excellence and creativity in our own life, then you will achieve great heights. Great caliber will be born of you, and I assure you, you will live a happy life. So my dear friends, I express all eternal best wishes for a happy life for everyone and for a contribution of India's future greatness. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir, for such an inspiring and enlightening session. Now I request the students to have some questions from your side so that sir can answer it.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Dr. Karan. I'm from DYPCOE, second year of Mechanical Engineering Department. First of all, sir, I would like to take a moment to congratulate you for being here with us because it's almost for me like a dream coming true. Reason being, when I used to be a kid, my mother used to study from various books for state level competition exams, and all of the books were named under a symbol, a specific symbol named as Chanakya Mandal Parivar, and all the books were yours, sir. And then moving ahead to the question, it's almost like seeing you, my dream coming true, the person whom I used to idolize since my childhood. I never, in my wildest dreams, I never had expected that I will meet you in person, even if it's for my college. But now, sir, I may be biting a little bit more than my capabilities, but I would like to make a humble request to you that the question I'm about to ask, you should answer it in mother tongue, as I consider mother tongue as the main source to connect with the masses, because in English they don't seem to give a bit of attention. I was about to use some wrong word, but sorry, sir. The question would be, सर असं काय झालं होतं की 96 साली ज्यावेळी तुम्ही महाराष्ट्राच्या मुख्यमंत्री साहेबांचे डेप्युटी सेक्रेटरी होता, तुमच्या हातात इतकी प्रचंड ताकद होती त्यावेळी, पण तुम्ही रिझाईन केलं. लाखोंच्या गर्दीतनं 97 जण IAS होता, फक्त 97, आणि त्यातून तुम्ही IAS होता, पण तरी तुम्ही रिझाईन करायचा ट्राय केला, रिझाईन केलं. इनफॅक्ट असं काय सिस्टीम मध्ये असं झालं होतं की काय तुमचा अनुभव असेल तर तो ऐकायला मला आवडेल सर.
गेली 28 वर्ष माझ्या सर्व तोंडी परीक्षांमधला हा कंपल्सरी क्वेश्चन. ऋतुराज, धन्यवाद. ब्लेस यू. कन्वे माय रिगार्ड्स टू युअर मदर ऑल्सो. आणि तो म्हणलाय, फरमाईश त्यांनी केली आहे की मराठीत बोला. मला मराठी पण येतं का हे आपण त्यानिमित्ताने तपासून पाहू. आणि तो म्हणतो की राजीनामा का दिला. खरं म्हणजे अलीकडच्या काळात हा प्रश्न आता काहीसा मागे पडला. माझ्या पूर्वीच्या खूप पुस्तकांमध्ये मी वेळोवेळी मांडलंय. आता 2 ओळीत सांगतो की मी काय राजीनामा कुठल्याही निगेटिव्ह कारणासाठी दिला नाही. सर्व्हिसची वर्ष मला न मागता एकाहून उत्तम पदं मिळत गेली. मला नम्रपणे वाटतं की बहुधा मी कामही करायचं ते चांगलं काम केलंच. पण असे आपण आणखी जण शासनात पाठवू, आणि मग नुसतं शासनात नाही, प्रशासनासहित जीवनाच्या सर्व क्षेत्रांमध्ये जे स्वतःला ओळखून क्षेत्र निवडतील, पण त्या निवडलेल्या क्षेत्रात उत्तम आणि प्रतिभावंत होऊन भारत मातेची सेवा करतील, तर मी राजीनामा हे करण्यासाठी दिला. There is a positive reason, not a negative reason. My resignation is not a reaction. My resignation is not a rejection. It's not a negative vote to bureaucracy at all. त्यामुळे पुढच्या मधले आता त्याला 28 झाली वर्ष, हे 29वे वर्ष चालू आहे त्याला. जे काही थोडंसं काम जमलं त्याच्यात तुम्ही मी पॉवरफुल पदावर असणं सोडा. आता चाणक्य मंडळचे विद्यार्थी देशातल्या 51 उत्तम पदांवर काम करतात. जर फॉरेन सर्व्हिस मध्ये असले तर भारताचं प्रतिनिधित्व फार जगाच्या पातळीला करतायत. मी नुसते असे अलीकडची उदाहरणं बोलायला लागलो तरी मध्यरात्र होईल. सहज जाता जाता 1-2 सांगतोय फक्त. ते म्हणजे आता 3-4 दिवसांपूर्वी छत्तीसगड मध्ये CRPF नी 16 नक्षलवाद्यांचं ते ऑपरेशन ज्यांनी कमांड केलं तो चाणक्य मंडळचा विद्यार्थी. आता चायना डेस्क जो सांभाळतो आहे फॉरेन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेअर्स मध्ये, तर असे भरपूर. त्यामुळे आपल्याकडून काम व्हावं यासाठीचा दिला. मी माझा राजीनामा निगेटिव्ह करण्यासाठी नाही. ठीक आहे, थँक्यू.
मी इथे उपस्थित सर्व विद्यार्थ्यांना एक विनंती करू इच्छिते. आपण वेळेला खूप कट शॉर्ट आहोत, अगदी थोडा वेळ आहे, त्यामुळे आणखी कोणाला जर प्रश्न असतील, इफ एनीवन ऑफ यू हॅव एनी क्वेश्चन, प्लीज मेक इट क्रिस्प शॉर्ट. एनीवन इज हॅविंग एनी क्वेश्चन हियर? इफ yes, we can have that. Okay. Sir, I don't know about them, but I do have one question here. सर, मी मराठीमधनं बोलेन. सर, मी स्वतः ही आपली विचारांची त्रिसूत्री आणि आचारांची त्रिसूत्री ह्या तिन्ही ऐकलेलं आहे. अगदी पुन्हा का होईना युट्यूबच्या माध्यमातून मी तुमचे व्हिडिओ ऐकले. तर सर, माझा एक अगदी प्रामाणिक प्रश्न आहे. इथे भरपूर विद्यार्थी असे आहेत ज्यांना पुढे जाऊन UPSC किंवा MPSC या क्षेत्रात काम करायचं आहे, म्हणजे एक्झाम देऊन काम करायचं आहे. पण सर, त्याला एक महत्त्वाची भूमिका अशी की आपण परीक्षा तर पास करू, पण त्यासाठी स्वतःचं एक कॅरेक्टर डेव्हलपमेंट असतं. उद्या एखादा विद्यार्थी तो IAS होईलही, आणि यात काही शंका नाही, कारण हे DY पाटील कॅम्पसचे विद्यार्थी आहेत सर, यातनं नक्कीच IAS कॅरेक्टर डेव्हलपमेंट हवं. आणि त्याची सुरुवात तेव्हा व्हायला हवी जेव्हा मी किंवा कोणीही विचार करेल की मला ही परीक्षा द्यायची. तसं ह्यासाठी तुमचे काय 2 शब्द असतील?
म्हणजे मूळच्या बोलण्यात जे सांगून झालं, मग त्या व्यतिरिक्त मी म्हणेन की अखंड ज्ञान साधना आणि देशाच्या प्रश्नांचा अभ्यास असे मी वेळेअभावी असे एक्झॅक्टली 2 गोष्टी सांगितल्या की आपल्याला UPSC MPSC द्यायचं आहे, क्लिअर व्हा, शुभेच्छाच आहे. पण जे स्टॅटिस्टिक्स ऋतुराजच्या लक्षात दिसतंय की लाखो जण या परीक्षेला बसतात, तेव्हा निवड 1000 बरांची होते की ज्यातले सुमारे 100 म्हणजे आहेच. पण मग UPSC MPSCच्या रस्त्यावरनं पुढे सरकताना जीवनाची विन विन सिच्युएशन असं मी त्याला नाव ठेवले. हाऊ टू डेव्हलप अ विन विन सिच्युएशन. व्हॉट आय मीन इज आयदर वे वी विन. अँड आयदर वे वी विन मीन्स ओके, मी स्वतःला असा काही घडवीन, अशी काही घडवीन की या तऱ्हेने जाताना परीक्षा देऊन क्लिअर झालो तर मी ऑफिसर झालोय आणि आय विन. पण समजा गॉड फॉरबिड, हॅव्हिंग डन आवर बेस्ट, एखादा झाला नाही तर काही आकाश कोसळत नाही. हेही मी जे कायम सांगत आलोय की IAS झाला म्हणजे काय आकाशाला हात लागले असंही नाही, नाही झाला म्हणजे तेच आकाश आपल्यावर कोसळलं असंही नाही. पण अखंड ज्ञान साधना, अवर कमिटमेंट टू रिलेंटलेस नॉन स्टॉप परसूट ऑफ नॉलेज, ते सुद्धा मी मला कळलेलं एक इक्वेशनच मांडलंय दॅट pursuit of knowledge is equal to pursuit of happiness. ज्ञान साधना हीच आनंद साधना आहे. ज्यांनी अनुभवला असेल त्यांना मी काय म्हणतोय कळेल की ज्ञान म्हणजे अरे आपल्याला एखादी गोष्ट कळली, हा जो कळली नावाचा लख प्रकाश आहे. त्या आनंदाची तुलना दुनियेतल्या कुठल्याही दुसऱ्या आनंदाशी करता येणार नाही. पण आम्ही काय केलं पाहिजे, एक आहे रिलेंटलेस and a genuine sincere commitment to pursuit of knowledge, आणि दुसरा अर्थातच आहे की हा देश, त्याचा समाज, त्याची संस्कृती आणि मी त्याच्याशी एकरूप आहे आणि त्याचा अखंड अभ्यास करून माझ्या जीवनात मी कुठल्या तरी एका तरी क्षेत्रामध्ये देशाच्या प्रश्नांवर मी काम करीन. हे जर 2 झालं तर बघा की तुमच्या मधलं कर्तृत्व एक असामान्य उंची गाठतं की नाही.
As we conclude this insightful session, it's my privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on behalf of Dr. D.Y. Patil Pratishthan's D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, Nakuri. Our deepest gratitude to our esteemed guest, Mr. Avinash Dharmadhikari sir, for sharing his invaluable wisdom on education with purpose. A special thanks to our guest of honor, Mr. Amay Deshpande sir, with his enriching presence. We sincerely thank our chairman, Sri Sanjay Patil sir, for his visionary leadership, and our trustee, Sri Tejas Patil sir, for his support and for honoring our distinguished guest. A heartfelt thanks to our principal, Dr. Mrs. P. Manti Madam, our vice principal, Dr. S.S. Sarnobat sir, Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Smita Patiskar ma'am, for their constant encouragement. We also appreciate the principals, deans, HODs and faculty members of all D.Y. Patil Educational Complex institutions for their presence. A special mention to the Ignited Youth Forum and the staff for their efforts in making this event possible. To our enthusiastic students, your participation made this session truly engaging. Lastly, a big thank you to the organizing team, the volunteers, the technical staff for their dedication. This carry forward today's lessons and strive for purposeful future. Thank you. We will conclude this with a prayer. Have a great evening. Thank you so much.
सायदानहि जे कणांची व्यंकटी सांडो दया सत्कर्मी रती वाढो भूता परस्परे पडो मैत्र जीवांचे दुरितांचे तिमिर जावो विश्वस्वधर्म सूर्य पाहो जो जेवांचिल तो ते राहो प्राणी जात वर्षक सकळ मंडळी ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांडी आई अनवर्त भूतळी भेट धुया बोधा चला कल्पतरूचे आरव चेतना चिंतामणीचे गाव बोलतेचे विभूषांचे चंद्रमेजे अनांचन मार्कंडचे तापहीन ते सर्वाही सदा सज्जन सोयरे होतु किंबहुना सर्व सुखी पूर्ण होई तिन्ही लोकी भजी जो आदि पुरुषी अखंडित आणि ग्रंथोपजीवी विशेषी लोकी दृष्टादृष्ट विजय होवा बेजी तेथ म्हणे श्री विश्वेश्वराहो हा होई दान पसाहो येणे बरे ज्ञान देहो सुखिया झाला येणे बरे ज्ञान देहो सुखिया झाला येणे बरे ज्ञान देहो सुखिया झाला
Gracias.